Back in the early 1980s, I read a book called The Chopper Boys by Rex Forrester. This was about the high-risk adventures in the early days of dead and later live deer recovery in the most remote parts of the country. Two places that were mentioned quite a bit in the book was the Landsborough Valley and Barn Bay, both located in the southern end of the South Island's West Coast Road. A chance conversation with Rod Corbett from Wanaka, and I was off to see both these places within a few weeks of each other. We did the drivable section of the Landsborough in early September with a shot over 4-wheel drive club, and this video is of our road trip south to Westland to visit Barn Bay and a couple of other places of interest. Barn Bay is a very isolated part of the south coast, lying about 80 kilometres south of Haast at the end of the rough 4-wheel drive track across private land. Access to Barn Bay is strictly limited and is best done with an experienced crew, so the chance to jump in with the very experienced Otago Land-Rover Owners Club was an opportunity too good to miss. My wife Jen and I decided to make a bit of a road trip out of our southward journey and cross off another bucket list item to stay at the world-class Hermitage Hotel in Mount Cook. Wednesday saw us jump a plane from Auckland to Christchurch, pick up a car along with the essential beer, wine and nibbles, and hit the road. Since I travel around the country a lot, I find some amazing places that I've not been able to share. So the first stop was the Crater Rim Road of Lyttelton Harbour, where I found the remains of an old tea house from the 1920s called the Sign of the Bellbird, and also where I took an amazing sunset photograph looking south across Lake Ellesmere. The Summit Road is an amazing road carved out of the basalt rock. It starts in the Christchurch suburb of Cashmere and dumps you out on the southern side of the ranges on the shores of Lake Ellesmere. I then wanted to show Jen Lake Hood near Ashburton. Lake Hood is a man-made, landlocked waterways development on the windswept South Canterbury coast. I was so inspired by Lake Hood that I actually failed to take any photographs, but I can show you a great segment of us floating an old Land Rover in Lake Hood for entertainment during the Land Rover's 70th birthday trip a couple of years ago.
Perfect, straight up. And just keep going. See if we can do a bit faster so we don't get it. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming, keep coming. That'll do. Now we're at the back.
So, moving right along, we then started heading into the interior, bypassing Geraldine and heading to the bits that everyone who visits the South Island wants to see, Lake Tekapo. Quick diversion off the road for a quintessential South Island photo opportunity.
Yeah. looking to throw me around, but I'll be holding on forever. You won't bring me down. Came out searching for a reason. Came out looking to throw me around, but I'll be holding on forever. Thankful that this time you would have to burn me down.
The view from the 5th floor of the hotel is just outstanding, provided you get a fine day of course, which we most certainly did. The staff at the Hermitage were just brilliant to deal with, and we got a front row seat for dinner. The next morning the mountains looked a bit menacing, but the heat of the sun soon burnt the clouds off to another perfect blue dome day. We had a slow breakfast enjoying the view, packed up our bags and reluctantly drove down the road. We dropped off at the Mount Cook airport to book a scenic flight up to the glacier, but there were none available, unless we wanted to charter a personal helicopter for a couple of $1,000 for what we worked out to be just a few minutes in the air. So we decided to go for a stroll up to Mueller Glacier instead, before the sun got up too high. Back on the road, and we had a 340km run today from Mount Cook to Haast on the southwest coast of the South Island. We drove past the old hydro dam town of Twizel, where I was working just 10 days before, and onto Amarama to fill up, and then onto the Lindis Pass. We were just past the summit of the Lindis Pass, and Jen said, "I just saw a tar," to which Kev naturally says, "Yeah, right." She said, "I did, right next to the road." I said, "What? A big goat with a golden neck scarf?" And she said, "Yes." Hit the brakes, quick U-turn in a really bad place, and we shot back up the pass. And she was right. There were tar. 8 of them.
Are they tar?
Yeah. I've never seen tar in the wild before, and there they were, right next to State Highway 8. We called into Wanaka to catch up with Rod and Ann Corbett, who we will be travelling with over the next few days, and we also called into the food market to grab something for our lunches for the next 4 days, and we may have stocked up with more booze and nibbles just in case, and we headed for the coast. It was interesting to see the new fibre optic cable being installed along the Lake Hawea Road heading for the west coast. A large wheel that resembles a 3-metre diameter circular saw blade is used to rock saw a 100mm wide trench through the rock where the cable is laid right down the middle of State Highway 6.
Yeah, there's the rock saw. You see it?
Yeah, I do.
We were soon over the Haast Pass and in the dense forest of the coast, and looking forward to meeting new friends and a trip to Barn Bay tomorrow morning. It's always great to go out with different clubs, as you never know what each club classes as an easy trip. Good grief, we were in for a treat.
Oh, yeah.